Good afternoon, everyone.
It's an afternoon already.
Yes, it's afternoon already. Hi, everyone. I'm Natalie, and I'm here with Dr. Mariam Bakhtiari, the inventor of BLA Fit, which is just the coolest, most innovative facial exercise device I've ever seen. It'll definitely. Today we're talking about how to get rid of your double chin and how this can actually help you get rid of your double chin. But before I go any further, we also have Ryan here with us. And yeah, so let's get into it. Did you want to get started, Ryan?
Sure, yeah. So Dr. Mariam and Natalie, thank you so much for being here and joining us, because we have some really fun stuff to talk about with the BLA Fit. You know, it's a product that we're so familiar with, but to our viewers, I'm sure that they don't have much experience with it. And I think one of my favorite things is the facial symmetry that it provides to people who utilize it daily. Do you want to start off talking about that?
Sure, facial symmetry.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Mariam Bakhtiari, the founder of BLA Lip Appliance. It's an exercising device that goes around your lips. It has a resistant band to it, and it actually works out both sides of your facial muscles. You can actually do what do they call it?
Bilateral.
Bilateral. There's a thing in
Isometric.
Isometric.
Yeah.
You're doing an isometric exercise, which will work out both sides of your face. So if one side is more bulkier because you clench on one side over the other side, this kind of like produces that symmetry and that balance from right to the left. It's two exercises that you can use the BLA Lip Appliance, the horizontal and the vertical. And the vertical is the one that will really help change your facial structure as well as your double chin. Mm-hmm. And we will demonstrate it in this you're going to be my demo.
Okay.
And we'll show you how that specifically BLA Lip Appliance has a perfect resistance to be able to trigger certain muscles that we normally cannot get them activated, and how that activation will change our facial symmetry and facial structure. Mm-hmm. All the way from your lips to your neck, your cheekbones, and it just lifts your face naturally. And I'm very excited to be here today with you guys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what's so inspiring is, oftentimes everyone forgets that, or I feel like there's not really a lot of education about exercising your facial muscles. There's education about exercising your body, but when it comes down to your facial muscles or even your toes, we don't even, we neglect them, and it leaves us with a lot of issues down the line as we get older. But I love that you created something that is so easy. It's portable, like you can carry it everywhere you go, and you don't even need to do it for that long, right?
No, it's because our facial muscles are very small, generally speaking. It's not like you're working out your thigh muscles or your hamstrings. It is very little, skinny, small muscles that connect to each other, and one activates the other, and you need very little to plump them and to activate them. And our clinical study that was published last year was based on 1 minute workout a day. Now, people always ask me, is 1 minute sufficient? It all depends to your personal preference. 1 minute is what our clinical study shows, and I think that's enough to get a good start. But I sometimes do it a few minutes a day, and you told me that you've done it. Once you start doing it, it's just like everything else. You can add on to it and build on it. But 1 minute is what our clinical study is about, so I think that's the minimum time that you need to see actually some transformation.
So if you do the exercises for more than 1 minute a day, does that result in more muscle growth?
I think so. I think overworking any muscle, it's overgrowing that muscle. I personally don't recommend too much of it. I think there's a balance in life. Doing all day long, sit-ups is too much.
Right.
Your muscles need to have to relax and rejuvenate while you're not using it. I would say no more than 3 minutes a day. Maybe once in the morning for people that are advanced. Once in the morning, once around lunch hour, once at night. But no, you don't need more than 1 minute. If you do it nice and slow, the resistant band doesn't lose its strength. You can do, every time you do it, you have the same resistance, but you just have to do it slow motion. And because we care so much about this product, we have your training as part of the introductory package. You will be trained on how to best use the BLA Lip Appliance by one of our certified team members or myself and it usually takes about 5 to 10 minutes to do that, and that comes in their introductory package. This should say a lot about our company,
Right.
because we care. I want you to know, and I want you to be able to use it properly and take advantage of this simple yet wonderful device.
That's right.
How can people schedule their consultation, their 5-minute consultation with us?
We have a little card added that Ryan created
Oh,
it
yeah,
for us
that's right.
earlier that says, congratulations, you get to have a 5-minute one-to-one with Dr. Mariam or a team member. You just have to email us. The email is provided in that card, and or go to our website and email us and say, I bought my BLA lip appliance, whether you buy it from Amazon, from ShopLit Live, or from our website, and schedule, and our team member will respond to you ASAP to schedule that time.
I think what's most amazing about those consultations is being able to connect with a customer one-on-one and really getting to know who are the faces, who are the people that are really
Yes.
intrigued by this product, and what are the reasons why they're purchasing the BLA. There's different reasons, right? There's
Right.
people that have had TMJ and they're looking for a solution, or not necessarily a solution, or something to just relieve the pain.
Yeah.
There's others that just want to have a healthier lifestyle and also engage their facial muscles. So I think this product is really for like a range of people.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And I love being able to get to meet them.
Yes, and this was one of our biggest challenge, was the fact that we didn't know what age range can we start our marketing.
Right.
Because you can use I have cousins that are like in they're in their early teens that they're using it, all the way to we have customers that are in their 90s that we teach them how to use it. It helps, and we are now thinking about people with speech issues and
Yeah.
stroke and facial muscles that are drooping, how to get these activated. So there's a lot of big range of people that we can use. But what's beautiful about this product is that it's not hard to do. It doesn't require time, and we're there to back you up, and we're there to train you. We're with you in this, and it's time for us to change our thinking and our mindset on face, because it's the last 2 decades. I feel like they've been pushing to us facial injections, sculpting, Botox, and I think we've done enough of that.
Right.
And it's time for us to think that although they have their own pros and cons, but they're still invasive. They're still expensive, and if you start doing that at age of 13 or 14 or 16, you have to think, you have to do this, keep up with this throughout life, and it only gets worse, because by the time you're 50, if you start 18, your face is not going to look like you.
Yeah.
You're going to for sure have a transformed facial deformity, in my opinion, where you may not be aware about it, because it becomes like a chronic issue, becomes kind of like addictive issue, where people want to constantly do things to their face. But people look at you, they say, oh my God, her face looks so weird, because it starts looking weird.
Yeah.
When you inject your lips once, then you in 6 months after, first of all, the injections are done in the outer layer. It's not underneath the muscle. The exercise is lifting from underneath your skeletal muscles. The muscles that cover your bone are doing the workout. And then the second thing is, what I want the youngsters out there to understand is that when you inject the lips, you're stretching the skin. And great, it's going to look great for the first time, but the second time, the stretched skin requires more solution in there. And imagine doing this for years and you cannot keep up with the injections. Then your that are have their lips, because of the injections, have expanded so much, and the skin became so loose that they bitten on it, and now they have bite marks on inside their lips. And I just hope that we think that our face is another part of our body.
Yeah.
And if we're working out our arms, our body, our hamstrings, and we want to have beautiful glutes, we should be able to think our face can do the same. We can do the same thing in our face. And if you start early, it's prevention. We're now working out. The 13-year-old is learning that their face is like their body. I want that mindset to change. I want that thought that thinking process to change. Hopefully one day we could just change, and I always say revolutionize the way we think about our face, thinking that we don't have to inject our face. Why we're not injecting our body? Face is another muscle part that has 50 muscles in there. If you're working the muscles in our arm, we can work out the muscles in our face, and it will become a lot more aesthetically natural and beautiful, and it will really work inside your inner confidence, because you feel good about what you've done.
Yeah.
It's really important to note that social media also targets young people.
Yeah.
And how when you're young, you want to you want to feel beautiful, and if you're not falling under this standard of beauty, then you will do anything, even if it's something invasive, to be accepted as beautiful.
Yes.
And as a young person, me, I'm in my early 20s. It's very easy, it's very easy to be influenced by social media. It's very easy to have our minds are so malleable, and we fall victim to these standards. And if you're doing it at such a young age, you need to give yourself the chance to at least accept yourself.
Right.
And if you can't accept yourself as you're older, and you feel that this is the only solution for you, then okay, that's your choice. But you gotta give yourself the time to at least accept yourself, love yourself, find alternatives and healthy versions to really embrace that self-love and confidence that we all have, and not necessarily fall victim to these traps and these procedures.
Yeah,
that's beautifully put.
Yeah, you said it so well, and I'm so proud of you as a young person that you're understanding that this is one thing. Is my wish for our future generation is to understand that social media can take you to a corner that's very dark, and unfortunately there's not enough people like you that have voice. I wish you could take this to Instagram and add people like Sharzi and other kids that are in the same mindset, and let the public know that there's people like you that are going to resist falling into that trap, because it's just an endless. Today's about this, tomorrow's about something else, and to keep up, it's expensive, and kids are going through very, very crazy routes to be able to afford all these expensive products. I mean, I have kids that are coming here and they're saying to me in the past that, do you do lip injections? And then, do you think this is this? And I'm thinking, she's a 14-year-old person. Or why is your lip big and mine is not? And can this work when I do orthodontics? So I'm a dentist, so I do orthodontics, TMJ, and sleep apnea, and I do make them orthotics for their jaw. And there are people asking is that going to help this? Is that going to help that? And I understand there's things that we can improve. Double chin is something that could easily be worked with belly lip appliance. Lip plumping, not the outer skin layer being out, not in a natural way, but lifting from underneath your lips, giving yourself a beautiful cheekbones so that you don't have to inject and get facial contouring, is something that can be accomplished with belly lip appliance simply. You don't have to do too much. Just devote maybe 2-3 weeks of your time on a 1-minute time, and we'll train you, and you will get those. Look at our before and afters. You will get those effects. You will get those results. But asking things that are really they're the word is they're not realistic expectation. Unrealistic expectation is I cannot make myself look like you or like you. I can make myself look the best I can be in a natural way. If I want to go through invasive procedures to look like a certain person, then there's something fundamentally wrong with the way I think about myself. And I want youngsters to know that there's people like us that really believe in your best self and looking your best. And looking your best is not just physical beauty. It comes from inner beauty. It comes from an inner peace.
Confidence too.
Confidence, and we just want to grow that.
I'd also like to add that oftentimes we feel that once we have something, we feel like we're going to be happy. Once we attain this, we feel like everything's going to be okay. And if you feel that getting these invasive procedures is the only way that you'll feel happy about yourself or beautiful, and then you do get it and you still don't feel happy. It's
Right.
because it's not necessarily something, it's not a solution that can just be fixed, like you said, and the outer thing. It's like, it's an underlying issue that we have to work on ourselves.
Yeah.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
And so we have a question from one of our viewers, Simon. Simon's asking, can I ask, this certainly will help people, it's a marvelous invention, but prior to its invention, people survived just fine without it, right? As long as they didn't do injections, surgery, etc.
Yes, so, hi Simon. So, people know about face yoga. I always say belly lip appliance is like a face yoga, except it has resistance. So we put a weight, kind of like weightlifting. There's a weight and resistance built on the loop, which will get you a little bit more workout than you just do normal yoga. Face yoga, we've seen, there's research shows that it's very, very productive, and it works, and there's data behind it. Belly lip appliance, we like to call it, is a face yoga with resistance. And if you use it correctly, it does a little bit more than what people survived. Today we're working in a society that old days we used to chew our food longer. We used to sit and have more wholesome food. But now with the westernization, we're basically juicing and we're running, and we're not taking the time to use our jaw and our teeth the way they're intended. That's why evolution is taking us through a different facial structure. So with belly lip appliance, when you say before my mom, if you look at my mom, she's 72 years old. She's got beautiful face. And one of the things that I look at her facial beauty is, now that I remember back, even now, she eats a lot of nuts. And she chews a lot of things that are chewable. Like there's food back home, I'm from Iran, and I noticed that she chewed a lot. Mm-hmm. And my dad, on the other hand, has a lot of crowns and things like that, and he's always worried about chewing things that's going to break what he has. He's always worried about that. So today, it depends to how your lifestyle is. I do a lot of chewing most of the time. But again, we're defined by our timeline, and our lunch hours is like 5 minutes. We're not really eating organic, wholesome corn. Everything is more smashed, more cooked, more overcooked. So our facial muscles are becoming more flat, less used, let's say. And if we can find a way to be able to just trigger those muscles better, inexpensively, and at the same time, what belly lip appliance does that we haven't talked about is, most of us have we sleep and we clench our facial muscles, and right. Our jaw is clenching or grinding. What we will teach you with the belly lip appliance is working out your jaw muscles in a way opposite your clenching. So if you're clenching, your jaw becomes more square, and we get the masseter muscles bulked up. With belly lip appliance, we actually stretch that masseter so you won't feel so tight. People with jaw ache and TMJ issues have benefited from these exercises. So that's why it's so crucial for us to connect with our customers. And I put this last year in our packaging to be able to be trained by us. A lot of companies sell products that they don't stand behind it. This is my practice here, and I'm behind belly lip appliance. This is my life worth of education in the field of orthodontics, TMJ, and sleep apnea. And I am standing behind belly lip appliance because if somebody looks at something like that, they think it's so simple. It's something that maybe somebody in another country inexpensively duplicated, but the resistance that is on the band cannot be duplicated. It's a science that we use, an aircraft engineer that helped us to create that. You can use this for 400, 500,000 cycles, and the resistant band still keeps that weight. So there's a lot of science behind it, and the most important thing, Simon, is that I stand behind it, and I make sure that you become my evangelist user. I want you to learn and share this experience with other people so that they don't have to go through invasiveness, as well as tap into their parasympathetic nervous system and have a more healthy, calm life, because it does exercise and relaxes your facial muscles, increases blood supply to your brain, and your facial structure. So it does a lot more than just exercise.
Right.
I'd like to compare this to a story of like back then, like my great grandparents, they were farmers, and while they were not actually going to the gym, their bodies were being utilized every day because it was very like intense labor. And so that now we have like, you know, become people that are oftentimes sitting down in desks, we're not as active, and so now we have to actually make the time to go to the gym or do something to make our body active.
Yes.
So I think it's definitely how our society has changed that is forcing us to find alternatives to do things that our ancestors were once doing.
Yeah.
Not in the same not in the same way, but our ancestors were chewing. They were actually sitting down and, you know, doing 30 bites per.
But the food was more wholesome.
Right.
We had more chewing to do before. Now we're overcooked society. Everything is overcooked. At the same time, what you said, Natalie, is very interesting. When you said that before we didn't have to work out because we had more intense labor. We didn't have cars that went so fast. We had to walk. We had to find different means of going from one location to another location. The same thing goes with our face. And I wanted to say, yes, we didn't need to exercise our face years ago because our facial muscles would be able to work out the way it should have. But today, when I do orthodontics, one of the reasons that I invented BLA lip appliance, because I treat a lot of children for orthodontics, and 16-year-olds, when they're done with their braces, I looked at them and I noticed more and more kids have very flat faces. And beauty is always my passion. I like to draw, and I'm always attracted to see what's beautiful, whether it's in nature, whether it's in a building or a facial structure. And I noticed that their face is very drooped. Their lips are downward on a 16-year-old. I mean, we're supposed to show that sign in our 60s when we have dentures and we don't have teeth. But so that's why I knew that I have to create something, another tool to be able to get these faces much more supple and plumper and youthful. And that's why the BLA lip appliance came in. And that's what I just remember. That was why that it started getting my mind into thinking, what can I do to make balance between right and left muscles at the same time? Because we don't chew from both sides. Most of us have one-sided favor.
Yeah.
So we eat. We chew from one side. To be able to have an isometric exercise that triggers both sides, that is made by somebody that lives this in their life and knows your facial muscles better than any other professional. This is unique in that sense that there's a lot of products out there that you put in your mouth and you're like acting like you're chewing on them, but it could actually dislocate your jaw joint, and it's pretty dangerous. So to have something that is well thought for, BLA lip appliance.
Yeah.
I think enough is talk. If there's no other question, I want you to demo, because I'm sure people are like, so how does it work?
Okay.
Yeah,
Is there
yeah.
another question?
No, just Simon has some good comments. He says, I'll be your advocate. Maybe I'll have corn on the cob for lunch.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we'll have that
yes,
too,
yes,
to work it out.
yes. But it has to be the hard corn, and we don't want to overcook it.
Right.
Because they used to eat those corns raw, remember?
Yeah.
And Andes in Mayans ate corns and maca roots pretty raw. So when we cook the corn and it's soft, we're not doing what we need to do. So remember to, if you steam it just slightly so that you can still use your jaw for chewing. So I have Natalie. I'm going to actually, Natalie, I think you're going to switch with me so that they can see you straight out. Sure. And I'm going to talk about what she's doing, and she's going to do it. So here we go.
We're doing the vertical exercise first?
Yeah, so there's two exercises. There's a vertical and there's a horizontal. In all exercises, I would like you to, she's using our pinkish peachy pink color. We always use the resistant band and hold on it, because for the beginners, our jaw muscles and our lips doesn't have enough strength to do the exercise without the appliance jumping out. So she's going to lightly hold on it, and it's not on the teeth, it's solely the arms are around the lips. Teeth are not involved in any of these exercises. And she's going to think and use her upper and lower lip to bring the and open. Now you can do the breathe in now, breathe out later. If you guys are interested into learning how to use the breath work better, there's courses from Sylvia's _pelvic_yoga on Instagram. She'll teach you how to use the breath work better. But for the sake of time, I'm gonna have her open again. Look at all the activation on the jawline. When she opens, the opening is how much, as a dentist who treats TMJ, I want your jaw to be able to open. So for people that have locked jaw or range of motion is short, this allows you to be able to stretch the muscles and the ligament that are tight. So we're not using just a facial exerciser. We're using something that will affect your jaw, your chewing, your headaches. It's a lot more involved.
You also feel a lot on your neck, especially
Yeah, so
when you
you-
hold the resistance and
Yeah.
close.
So slow motion. What we don't want to do is this. Do it fast, sideways. What we
Right.
don't want is this. Because although you're
Almost
working
feels weird
out,
doing that.
we're just doing mumble jumble.
Right.
We want to make sure it's done slowly and very effectively.
Exactly.
So let's do one more round. We need to do about 7 rounds of this, about 30 seconds of it. So she's holding the tip, the lip muscles are bringing the arms together, and she's moving her chin forward. By moving the chin forward, the blood supply nerve and artery from carotid comes and passes in this region and feeds her head and neck. We're actually pushing the jaw forward, opening the circulation to the brain. So people that have migraine and headache, we know it will help them alleviate that. And then breathe out. There we go. And the horizontal, just so that they know, the horizontal exercise is on an ah sound, ah. So she's like in an open mode, again around the lips. She's going to just move the side arms together, just like that. And hold, take a breath in. And then just release. And let it open up. And then bring it again. So it's kind of like Thigh Master. You're bringing the legs together, it's bringing the lips together. And by doing that, you're actually lifting the corner of your lips and lifting your cheekbones. So about 30 seconds of that to be able to get your corner of your lips lifted. This specific exercise, if you could take it out for a second, all it does, it just lifts the corner of the lip. Looks like you've injected it and lifted it up. The other exercise, which is the vertical exercise, is our main core exercise that actually helps you release your blood, open up your circulation to your brain, help your jaw and balance your right and left, and lift your lips and give you that definition of the jaw that we need.
So Dr. Miriam, on the vertical exercise for patients with TMJ or clicking, do they open their mouth to the largest range of motion possible and then allow it to click through?
Yeah. No, when you have a clicking jaw, if your jaw clicks, when you do the exercises, before you do it, you just have to remember, you have a 5-minute time with me or my team members who are certified in TMJ and the product, so that I could teach you how to do it so you're not actually clicking your jaw. It improves your clicking. And that exercise needs to be trained by somebody that specializes in this. So we can improve. If you're clicking, you're not doing it correctly. The first click means that the disc in here in your jaw has gone back into place. But the second and third click should not be heard. If you're hearing the second, third, fourth click, you're not doing it correctly. Stop using it. Connect with us so that we can teach you how to use it correctly so that you're not clicking.
Perfect.
Yes.
I think that's a good place to stop.
Thank you so much, Dr. Miriam.
You're
Thank
so
you.
welcome.
This was really great. So if you're interested in buying, please feel free to visit us at blafit.com, and we're also on Amazon, and we hope you can join our family.
Yeah, Amazon I know has a...
We have a 30% discount right now, which is BLA Live 30 on Amazon, but it's only on Amazon. You can also find us on our website, which is just blafit.com.
And I think the 30 is only at this time.
Yes.
On the live time.
Exactly.
Other than that, you'll get the 15%.
Yes, we do have it. And we also have Prime shipping. So that's very helpful.
Thank you, everyone.
Until
Thank you
next
so
week.
much.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
That guy was crazy.